Dan Brigman had been sheriff for half his life. He knew the county, the people, and the potholes for miles around Crossroads, Texas. Now that his daughter Lauren was grown, being a lawman filled his time. He'd settled into a comfortable aloneness and counted himself lucky. When he turned onto the county road on the third Friday in November, feather-light snow circled in the cruiser's headlights as if the beams caught winter's breath dancing in the dark along the silent stretch of highway. The first freeze of the season was whispering across the flatland, but Dan feared a storm would rage in a few hours. He smiled. He loved this time of year. Most folks complained about the cold, the short days, the colorless landscapes, but he liked coming inside after a long day and warming by the fireplace. He loved napping through football games and craved all the food that came with the season. Green chili enchiladas, Hopkins County stew, spicy pork ribs simmered all day in a slow cooker. The sheriff laughed out loud. He was starting to sound like an old man. True, there was a brush of gray along his temples, but inside, he felt like he was still young. In 20 years, if he kept getting re-elected, he'd retire and have time to fish off his dock at the lake house. If he got bored, he'd drop by his old office to tell the next sheriff how to run the county. He had never run with the bulls or climbed Everest or seen a foreign country, but he'd had a rich life. Something bright blinked in his headlights just in front of him. Dan hit the brakes. With his beams on high, he climbed out of the cruiser, a flashlight in one hand and the other on the butt of his service weapon. The county road might be silent tonight, but this was 111, the stretch of highway where he'd been ambushed 4 years ago. That day flashed through his mind, more in sounds than pictures, bullets pinging against the sides of his cruiser like hailstones, tires popping as they went flat, brakes squealing while he fought for control, glass shattering across the windshield and raining onto the pavement.